I searched the basement after my dad went missing. I now know why he disappeared. My dad was always a bit of a mystery to me. He was the kind of man who kept to himself, spending long hours in his study or down in the basement. He was a good father, never harsh or unkind. But there was always this unspoken distance between us, a barrier I could never quite break through. Then, a few months ago, he disappeared. There was no warning, no note, no sign of where he might have gone. He was just gone. The police launched an investigation, of course, but they didn't find anything. His car was still in the driveway, his wallet and keys on the kitchen counter. It was as if he had simply walked out the door and vanished into thin air. I tried to carry on with my life, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was horribly wrong. So, one night, I decided to search the house again, top to bottom. I didn't really expect to find anything. I just needed to do something, anything, to feel like I wasn't losing my mind. The house was exactly as it had always been. His study was neat and orderly, his bedroom untouched. But when I got to the basement, I hesitated. The basement had always been my dad's domain, a place where he spent hours working on his projects. I wasn't allowed down there when I was a kid, and even as an adult, I never had any reason to go. But with my dad gone, I felt a strange compulsion to finally explore it. I pushed open the creaky door and flicked on the light. The basement was just as I remembered, dimly lit, cluttered with tools and old furniture. But as I moved further in, something caught my eye. A large, dusty trunk shoved into the far corner. It was old, the wood splintered and the metal hinges rusted. My heart pounded as I approached it, an inexplicable sense of dread washing over me. I knelt down, hesitated for a moment, and then slowly lifted the lid. The smell hit me first, a rancid, decaying stench that made me gag. And then I saw what was inside. Bones. At first, I couldn't comprehend what I was looking at. There were bones, human bones, neatly arranged inside the trunk. Some were old, yellowed with age, while others were fresher, still bearing scraps of flesh and sinew. But that wasn't the worst part. In the center of the trunk, placed with almost obsessive care, was a skull. And attached to the skull, matted and dirty, was a tuft of hair. My dad's hair. I stumbled back, my mind reeling. How could this be possible? How could my father, a man I had known my entire life, be connected to something so horrific? I wanted to scream, to run, but my legs wouldn't move. My gaze was locked on that trunk, on the remains that lay inside, and on the undeniable truth that my father had somehow been a part of this. As I stood there, paralyzed with fear, I noticed something else. A small, leather-bound journal tucked into the side of the trunk. My hands trembled as I reached for it, my mind screaming at me to stop, to just leave and never look back. But I couldn't. I had to know. The journal was filled with my dad's handwriting, pages upon pages of meticulous notes, diagrams, and, most chillingly, dates. The entries started over 20 years ago, detailing what could only be described as a series of experiments. He wrote about his subjects, about how he had carefully selected them, how he had lured them to his workshop, how he had, God, I could barely read it, how he had slowly, methodically taken them apart, piece by piece. The last entry was dated the day before he disappeared. It was brief, just a few lines, but it told me everything I needed to know. Subject 27, final phase. Subject is uncooperative. Proceeding with extraction. Once complete, no further entries will be necessary. It will all be over soon. I dropped the journal, my breath coming in ragged gasps. My father hadn't just disappeared. He had done this to himself. He had become his own final experiment, his own last victim.